So, Charlotte, can you tell me what happened on October 7th, 2023?
October 7th, 2023, which was a Jewish holiday, what is meant to be the happiest holiday in the Jewish calendar, Simchat Torah, and also on the morning of the Jewish Sabbath. Hamas, a genocidal terrorist organization who runs the Gaza Strip, committed an assault against Israel from ground, sea, and air. First, it was an assault of rockets, a barrage that was launched at 6:30 in the morning, which was ultimately just a cover for their ground and air invasion into Israel. And what happened after those rockets started to rain down upon Israel and many Israelis scurried into their bomb shelters, we then saw a ground and air offensive as well as a sea offensive. The sea offensive was thwarted. However, over 2,000, nearly 2,500 Hamas terrorists infiltrated into Israel on the ground and through paragliders from the air. They first took out the few military bases along the Gaza border that were meant to be the line of defense for the southern communities in Israel. And then they proceeded to their actual targets, which were southern communities. Over 20 southern communities in Israel, kibbutzim, small communities, were assaulted. They were surrounded, and these terrorists went door to door murdering Jews. And they didn't just murder them, they took some hostage. They took 240 people hostage in the Gaza Strip. We are talking about men, women, children. We are talking about infants. We are talking about elderly people. We are talking about Holocaust survivors. They also proceeded to torture people for hours upon hours in these communities. Meanwhile, there was also a large peace festival, music festival going on nearby one of these communities, the community of Re'im. Over 1,000 young Israelis and some foreigners were at a rave celebrating what was supposed to be a peaceful music festival. And many of them, all of them, were told to not bring weapons. They paraglided into this festival and then they came on trucks and they gunned down young Israelis as they were running for their lives through a field because that was their only way out, as Hamas had blocked them from three different sides. And in the process of this, they managed to kill over 1,400 Israelis on October 7th. 1,100 innocent civilians. And again, we are talking about women, we are talking about children, we are talking about babies, babies who were put in ovens, babies who were burned alive, babies who were beheaded. We are talking about women who were brutally raped, sometimes by over 25 men, and then murdered. And since then, they have now also, and I should say 300 of those killed were our defenders, security forces, military, police, and even some ambulance workers who were on their way to try to help the dead or the injured. And since then, they have continuously fired rockets into Israel, not just southern Israel, but throughout the center of Israel and even further north in Israel. We have now had over 8,000 rockets raining down on Israel since October 7th. October 7th was the darkest day in my lifetime for Jewish people. And it is by far the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. It was the darkest day in Israeli history.